Welcome to Geek versus Geek, where two nerds fight it out. It's kind of like the Super Bowl, but without the helmets or the tight pants. We're sitting here in EHOW's beautiful, state-of-the-art tech center, aka Dave's basement. Let's meet our resident nerds. Dave Johnson is editorial director of EHOW Tech and the author of 36 books. Rick Broida writes for CNET, PC World, and Wired, and is the author of the new book, The Cheapskate Rules. Together, they are EHOW Tech's Geek versus Geek. Let's get started. Before we get to the main event, we're going to start with a segment that we call Worth It? Is it worth it? And today we're talking about a product that is so geeky, it got dropped off at the Star Trek convention by its mom. Haswell chips. They're so geeky, I don't even know what they are, Rick.
Haswell is Intel's code name for their 4th generation core processor. In this generation of the chip, Intel has engineered in some useful stuff, starting with improved battery life. So if you're shopping for a laptop, you're looking at a processor that's going to help you work a couple hours longer. And Haswell also gives you a fairly substantial boost in graphics performance, which is a big deal for video editing, for photo work, for games, that sort of thing.
If you look at the spec sheet of everything that's in the Haswell chips, you find most of it really benefits mobile devices. It doesn't address desktop computers at all. So if I'm shopping for a new desktop computer, there isn't a lot of benefit in having the brand new Haswell chip in it. The older one, the Ivy Bridge is what it was called. That's fine. If it's a few $100s cheaper, it's going to get the job done. But if I'm looking at a mobile device, a laptop, I could get a few extra hours of battery life out of it. I'd say it's probably worth it.
So for heavy-duty travelers, business people who need to squeeze every minute of work time that they can out of their laptops, it's probably worth paying that premium.
Shockingly, I think we agree with each other.
My head's about to explode. All right, it's time for the main event. It's like a jousting match without the horses or the long sticks or the courage. In honor of the holidays, we are talking about a topic that's very close to our hearts, which is how much modern movies suck. I mean, are movies coming out nowadays getting worse, or are we just getting old?
Let's go back to, 1977. My sister took me to see Star Wars. Wonderful movie that changed my life, right? It's a classic hero's journey story. Then we fast forward a few decades, and George Lucas goes back to the well and makes new Star Wars movies. And they're soulless. They have no heart whatsoever. There's no story. It's just flashy and glitzy and explosions. That is just symptomatic of all movies today. We've gone from telling great stories with great characters to just lots of explosions to keep people's attention.
The last thing I'm going to do is ever defend those 3 prequels, because in my universe they actually don't even exist. I can't watch them. However, I really cannot help wondering if we are getting older. You know, you especially. We've seen so much incredible cinema over the years, and it's hard for filmmakers to really dazzle us anymore. And so I can kind of see the mentality of, you know, they're just trying to throw as much cool special effects at us as they can to really make the movie bigger and louder and more exciting. And to its detriment, it doesn't work.
Is your point that we're all just getting stupid because we're willing to go to the theater and watch movies that are clearly inferior to the stuff we grew up with?
Whether or not something's inferior is a function of how old you are, because I think somebody who is 9, 10, 11 years old who sees the 3 Star Wars prequels for the first time is going to think, oh my God, that was incredible.
You can't judge whether something is good or not based on what kids think. You know, they don't have any taste.
Let's be honest, that is much as many modern movies are just way overkill in terms of the special effects and the lack of story, the lack of likable characters, it is still possible to make a wow movie that has lots of incredible special effects.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. There are exceptions of great films out there, and I would say that on average, the movies of 20 and 30 years ago were substantially better than the movies of this decade.
Well, considering this is a completely subjective topic, I'm going to declare all 3 of us winners. Because yes, movies nowadays do suck. And yes, we are old, especially Dave.
Wait.
Sorry. It's the holiday season, which is a time of love and family and most importantly, gifts. Now, Rick and Dave, if you could only pick one gadget to find under your tree or your menorah, or whatever the Kwanzaa thing is, what would it be?
Well, I have this beautifully wrapped package for you, Dave, and this is my holiday gift to you. Please.
Yay!
Ooh.
Yes. What you've got there is the AOC E1659F USB monitor. For those people who want to have a second monitor on their desktop, whether it's connected to an actual desktop or a laptop, the AOC plugs right into a USB port. You don't need a video card, you don't need a VGA port or an HDMI port. Any USB port will drive this, and it gets even better. It gets powered by the USB port.
No
So it's
way.
literally a one cable solution, and it gives you a 16-inch monitor to use as a second screen.
I can just stand this on my desk.
Yes, sir.
Plug a USB cable from this into my laptop
Yes.
and extend the laptop display onto another monitor.
And it's also got, I don't know if you guys can see this snazzy back stand.
That's right. And it can work vertically or horizontally. Yes, so you can use it in portrait or landscape orientation. You're welcome.
Wow.
Rick, this is the best present you have ever given me.
It's a very generous gift, Rick. Dave, your turn.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. What is it?
Rick, I am giving you the Braven 850 Bluetooth speaker.
Thank you.
This thing has great audio quality, really good full fidelity sound. And if you get two of them, they will actually wirelessly connect with each other and give you full stereo sound out of two different speakers.
Wow.
And of course it's Bluetooth, so it wirelessly connects to your phone or your tablet or any Bluetooth device. There's a big honkin' battery in this thing, and you can actually charge devices off of it while you're listening to music on it. Yes.
So I can stick
way.
my iPhone in here?
Yes, it's $299 each. So if you do want two for stereo, that's going to cost you $600.
So can I get another one next year?
We'll see if you're good.
Yay! Don't you feel the holiday love? I do, even though they didn't get me anything. What do you guys think of the show? We want to hear from you, so let us know on Facebook, Twitter, or email, and we will see you next time on Geek vs. Geek.